In 14 days, astronauts will be here for training. And we're shooting a human into space, and it's never been done before. With the launch of the Russian spy satellite, the president is demanding an immediate response.
Running from the man.
Space Test Group needs a computer. Catherine's the gal for that. She can handle any numbers you put in front of her.
You and I are different from each other.
This is about inventing the math, because without it, we're not going anywhere.
My gals are ready. We can do the work.
Well, it's lovely to see you. And it's funny because I actually just saw you in another role, very briefly, Bad Santa.
Yes, my naughty girl.
Very naughty girl, yeah. Completely different to this character in Hidden Figures.
Yes, girl has to show her range.
I think so. But it must have been very proud to play someone that is actually based on a true story, and also the fact it is not only Hidden Figures, but a hidden part of history that I never knew.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I never knew either. It was when it was brought to me, I thought, okay, I'd love to be a part of that, but won't people know that it, didn't happen? Because we all know John Glenn and all of the astronauts of the era.
Yeah.
And then to find out that it was actually true, it just made it that much more tantalizing.
Oh, so you actually thought it wasn't a true story when you read it?
Absolutely, because
It seems so unlikely.
Exactly, and plus it just, if it had happened, wouldn't we have known about it? Wouldn't they have been talking about it? So that made it that much more, I had to be a part of it, just to bring that story to light.
Yeah, let's talk about who you play. So tell us about her and,
I played Dorothy Vaughan. She was the acting supervisor of there were black computers and white female computers, and the computers, actually computed. They ran all the trajectory numbers that the astronauts would be using to get into space. And Dorothy was mechanically inclined. From an early age, her father taught her how to disassemble and reassemble a car, an engine, and she could do that with anything, with any mechanical thing. So when NASA got the IBM, they couldn't get it to work. She would sneak in there to figure out what was wrong with it, and she finally got it to work. And then she realized that their jobs as computers would be obsolete because the same numbers that they were running, the machine would now compute. So she taught herself how to program the IBM, and then taught the other women, the black women that worked under her, and NASA commissioned her to teach all of the women how to program the IBM.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
It's crazy, because there's no way I would have, I would not have had that forethought at all.
Yeah.
She definitely reinvented herself and made herself invaluable, and taught all the other women how to do that as well. Definitely a girl's girl. She was looking out for all of her peers, which is remarkable.
How did you know the Redstone couldn't support orbital flight? That's classified information.
It's top secret.
Well, it's no secret why the Redstone tests keep failing. The numbers don't lie.
And you figured all that out with this. Half the data's redacted.
Well, what's there tells a story if you read between the lines.
You did the math.
Yes, sir.
And how do you know about the Atlas rocket? That's not math. That data's not here, like you said. It's classified.
I held it up to the light.
You held it up to the light.
Yes, sir.
Well, there it is. Atlas.
Your character is a composite, I know, of a few people, but was NASA actually that forward-thinking? In that?
There's a lot of people that took stands, and they weren't even popular stands. But in his instance, the idea was it didn't really matter. If this coffee pot is slowing us down, then it's not. I can't accept it.
Yeah.
And if I have an employee that has to go halfway across the grounds to go to the bathroom, when I need her here, who, by the way, she's smarter than you, I'm not going to accept that either, because I'm not going to miss what I've been tasked with, which is to get us into space before the Russians. People have stood up in the face of racism all the time. And sometimes the people that stand up are people that have ignored it for a while and finally see it for what it is, which is useless.
Yeah.
It's useless, and it holds us back on every level.
I mean, it's interesting. You would have been a child when this happened. Do you have many memories of that time, or is it very different when you start as an adult looking back now?
No, I remember it, a lot of it. I remember that it was very easy to use the N-word back then.
Yeah.
And no one seemed to look the other way and watch adults use it and use it yourself. And then there came a moment in time when it just wasn't right coming out of your mouth. It wasn't right to hear it. And it was something you had to learn because you weren't taught.
Yeah.
You mimic what you hear as a child.
There's a lot of talk now about Hollywood trying to diversify, tell different stories. And I mean, you when you did Dance with Wolves, I mean, it was about telling other people's stories. Do you feel now Hollywood's finally telling other stories like this?
No,
Nothing changes.
I always feel like they have. It just,
Yeah.
there's probably not, when we see it done right, then we yearn for more.
Yeah.
It's just not easy to suddenly in 2 hours tell a story that has a level of emotion, and in this instance, real history, because history alone is fairly dry, and entertainment without substance is kind of like, well, what did we just watch here?
Yeah.
And sometimes movies can get too preachy. And Ted Melfi, I think, ran a beautiful balance, and I found like that even though this was a 3 women story, that I was really happy to do the part that I did.
It's good to know NASA hadn't given up on good old-fashioned brain power.